name's Chris Nazeski. I'm 27 years old, and I'm a professional stand-up jet ski rider.
Step into my circle, whip the opposite of Urkel. When I pull up flying purple, people eaters could invite me. I sealed the fate of Herschel, and I just leave them on the limb and hand them my business. Since rappers are walking that I already killed them. Skin blanco, lyrical weapon kicking like a bronco. Head honcho, spherical presence came from the grotto. A dead rapper, wrap his body in a poncho. And crack his melon with a combo like pronto. Sayonara.
2007, the economy crashed. I couldn't ride anymore. My uncle, my family couldn't afford to keep me on a bike. So, you know, I started dabbling into new things, maybe getting into partying a little bit, you know, traveling. When I was younger, we used to be on the road, so I never had time to party, go out, and do social things. But I found stand-up jet skis, and I was hooked. I was like an addict immediately. Found the ski, went to my dad, asked for a loan, got a loan, then like a week later, I had my first stand-up jet ski. It was a 1990 Yamaha Superjet, same age as me.
I mean, Chris is very dedicated. Had a few issues here and there, but mainly with my other guys, you know, because he was so cocky, you know. It's just like, he was what, I don't know, 15, 16? So he had a little conflict with some of the guys from like messing up the shop and stuff, and I had to let him go like 4 times. So I'm like, go home, cool off, let them settle, and I'll get you back. And then he would come back and forth.
So yeah, I met Chris Nazeski probably going back about 10 years ago. I mean, he was around 19, 20 years old. This little fiery, cocky little kid.
Dude, we got so banged up last night. Oh my God, I shouldn't even gone out last night. That was mistake number 1.
I met him to buy a Superjet hull. We met at a gas station, and he's, you know, I was kind of, I guess, his competitor, but, you know, just another local guy in the area who Chris was familiar with Hamilton's, and I was buying the hull off him. And we never met face to face, but we both kind of knew who each other was. So yeah, we exchanged words. We, you know, had a quick conversation. I bought the Superjet hull off of him. And I mean, that's where freestyle was back then. Everybody was riding limited Superjets, some highly modified Superjets, but I mean, Chris was riding a Superjet back in the day, and that's when I met Chris.
I'd say 08, 09, going into 2010, 2011 especially, is when I started really riding flat water.
Yo. Yo.
Oh, it's like that. Holy shit. Oh my God. That's goody. It's like that. Ugh. Fuck.
What'd you think was gonna happen?
I wasn't gonna go to you. Struggle is real. The money is low. Sleep is low. The pussy's high.
Doesn't look like it.
Did you close my door at all? Holy shit. How long have you been in here?
Hey, yo, Sap, what's good, bruh? This man's kinda high out here. Hey, yo,
know the flyest motherfucker in the room, yeah, you know it's me. Bitches hating on him cause he started out here locally. Hopefully, I'll be at the top soon. For now, I'm at my house, on the couch, watching cartoons. You know how much you love it when you get it in abundance.
One of our best friends, you know, we were throwing, I think it was like his 26th birthday at the time, 25th birthday, something like that. I remember pulling up to the water slide over the roof of the house. We had street bikes, stunners, models, like I wasn't sure what was, I was at my house and I didn't even know what was going on. It got way too out of hand. People were going down the water slide, through the fence. There was boats coming from I don't know where to our lake house. Backflips off the double balcony, you know, into the lake. It was crazy. Like I don't even know where to start. Like we went so hard that, I mean, I lost a tooth. I think there was like two. I'm pretty sure I woke up the next day with people sleeping in my lawn.
Every step of the way was a natural progression. It wasn't, the sport wasn't where it was then, and Chris and my relationship had to be proven to each other at the same time along the process. So he started at fiberglass, then he went to a 900. He went from a 900 into a carbon fiber hull. And then once we realized the equipment was 100% holding him back, that's when me and Chris both kind of decided we went all in together. Chris worked off his skis through me for 2-3 years to get through riding the equipment he was riding on. Nothing was handed to him. You know, he worked 5 hours, 2 hours went to his ski to pay for his ski. You know, he didn't get anything handed to him. There was no full sponsor, there was no full ride, there's no Red Bull deal behind it. I mean, everything he did was built in a collaboration with me and with Russ to earn it.
Brian from Trust Innovations took him to the next level also because he dedicated himself and he's a distributor for Rick Roy. He just took him to the next level that he needed to be, which was good for him. I want him to go there and learn and become who he is today.
Chris worked for me probably for 1 year to 2 years before we started talking with Richter and RRP. And that was really the first generation for true freestyle hull, in my opinion, was the XFS, the Richter XFS. We had talked with Richter RRP as well to try to get him on Team Thrust and really get him kind of a little stepping stone, maybe some assistance from Richter. And, you know, Rick Roy himself is like, you know, who's this kid, you know? This kid works for you, I get it, but who's this kid, you know? I said, he's a fiery kid. He's gonna do some things on the ski and we're gonna be at World Finals that first year. So, I mean, Chris came out with a lot to prove, you know? He wanted to put his name in the industry and show he's not just the guy on the other side of the phone at Thrust, you know?
Growing up, I raced dirt bikes. That helped my balance, my reaction, handlebars, anything with bars, throttle. I love it. I can't get enough of it, you know, by far. Been in the gym for the last 10 years, on and off, and that helps me tremendously. Weight training is a huge part of this. There's a lot of moving parts and you're fighting them. You know, I rode mountain bikes because I enjoyed it. It was a new challenge for me. I didn't plan for it to be, but is when I came back from upstate New York last year and I went to compete, I realized how much of a role that plays. You know, we're only out there for 2 minutes, but my heart rate spiked to 184 in 2 minutes. You know, my high is 184. So when you're at that threshold, it's hard for you to focus. And the mountain biking helped tremendously. I feel like I cheated almost because it helped so much. You know, when you're upside down and you're taking your hands off and you need to put them back on the bars and go into a next trick, that's when your focus really comes into play. When Brian asked if I wanted to go to World Finals, and I had a ride, it was a no-brainer. I mean, it was like a dream come true. Like, wait, what? I get to ride with you, and we're going to Havasu? Wait, and I get to work so I can actually, make a couple bucks and pay my entry fees? Like, sign me up. Like, I'll clean dishes. Like, take me, please. Like, type of scenario. 2013, I got second in amateur. Right after that, I went to Australia, and then I came back from Australia, and we got the lake house. And I was from Australia, and this was the year I decided to go pro. So this is the first year in my entire life where I financially have had the means, and I just said, let's go for it. I'm gonna get the best equipment. I had access to the best team in the world, the best tuner in the world, and I just buckled down, bought 2 skis, and I trained all year, 2 times a week, 3 times a week. I made sure I was putting hours on the boats. Even if I was by myself, I was going out there. But I felt like I've had such a long journey that there was no better time than this year to do this.
2018 World Finals, Chris came in. I mean, he was focused all year. I mean, he didn't kind of laid back the year prior to that year. So, even me, I didn't know how far in he was going to go. But he put his life aside for 2018. He made all the steps. I was impressed by how much time and effort he put into planning, the coordination, the development of the skis over a 1-year process from a training ski to a full competition ski, and putting all the pieces together with who he was going to be training with, who he's going to be riding with prior to the event. And coming to the event, I mean, there was a lot of buzz of not knowing what was going to happen. I mean, World Finals, you never know which riders from what part of the world are actually going to show up, what talent they're bringing, what secret trick they got in the pocket. I mean, everybody's chasing down Lee Stone, and rightfully so. I mean, the kid's an amazing rider. And that's where I think Chris had his mindset. If I can chase down Lee Stone, that's where I want to be. And I think that's where a lot of freestyle riders today are after. We got to go for the gold. We got to go for Lee Stone. It's freestyle. You don't know what's going to happen.
Hey, oh, hey, ooh, hey, oh, hey. Face old, your father's calling you from the porch. Name, so make the code.
I went out to World Finals 2 weeks early this year. Like, I made it happen with the job, financially, and I wasn't gonna let anything hold me. I went out to World Finals 2, more speed bumps and issues in 2 weeks than I ever have in my entire life with a brand new ski. It was terrible. It broke me down. Like, I teared up twice. I teared up, I did, because I put so much into it this year. A day before the World Championship, I break 2 motor mounts on a ski with 6 hours. So the motor came out the night before. I wanted to take the pole off. I wanted to make changes to the pump. The ski was disassembled. 12 hours before the comp, the ski was disassembled. I fixed everything. I went and I tested the next morning, and I could tell something was off. So an hour before the competition, I broke a prototype flywheel we were testing. 6 hours on it. It just doesn't. It happened at the World Championship. So, I kind of told myself right before the event, I'm like, well, you did everything you could. There's nothing else you can do. All you can do is what you can do, and there's nothing more than that. So I wanted to give up, and my team, my fiance, Hero, my mechanic, everyone said no, like, it's not over, like, fix it, go. And we made it happen. I pulled the flywheel off, pickups, I had to change everything. Keep in mind, it's an hour before the competition. Well, I got it fixed, I got it to run. The ski was on fire. Everyone said I was just angry. They're like, you ride better when you're mad. And I think everything happens for a reason, and there might be something to be said why it led up to that. You know, maybe I needed that. Well, Saturday went really good for me. I just went out there, I was consistent and I was clean. I landed all my tricks, so you know, I wanted to bring that into Sunday. We woke up Sunday with 20-mile-an-hour winds. There was like 3 to 4 foot rollers breaking on the beach, and I could see it in everyone's eyes. Everyone was like, what do we do? And I was so happy. I couldn't have been happier. It was at that point where I was like, I need to be smart. I went out there, I did something different nobody else was doing that I knew I had in the bag, busted a backflip on my knees, not even standing up yet. All right, got the crowd warmed up. Let's go into a good clean routine. Lee was the last one to go. He qualified first on the opening day. He threw out a double barrel roll. I mean, the level of commitment this kid has, he busted his mouth open. He's bleeding all over the place. But, you know, he's the first one to do it in competition. Auto first place, puts him right in it. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. Now, they started calling names down the lineup, and they start from, you know, last to first. And when they got to top 5 and they didn't call my name yet, I'm still at a loss for words. I didn't know what to think. I'm like, I'll be 5th, I'll be 4th, I'll be 3rd. And when they called 3rd and I wasn't named yet, I just 4th. And I just like was in I'm like, pinch me, I'm dreaming, this is not true. Like they made a mistake for sure. They're gonna, oh, nope, sorry. Chris, 5th. They called all the best riders in the world, and it came down to me, and they called me 2nd. And I can't tell you that feeling, what I felt. Everyone around me, the energy and the vibe, like I get goosebumps thinking about, like, to this day. It was a feeling I'll never forget. I worked my ass off. I spent every dollar I had this year to do this. And when they were handing these out, and I went to the front of the line and I took this, like, this was a 1 to me. Like, there's only one guy finishing in front of me. For me, this was a dream. And to go before all those riders, the feeling's unreal.